Hello, English Narwhal, and welcome to your deck review. For those of you joining us for the first time on YouTube, this is a series where I will look at your commander deck's freaky little PP and tell you what to do with it. Your PP is your premise and your practicum. Your premise is the idea behind your deck. It's what you want it to do. For this deck, it is annoy everybody with birds that appear out of random crevasses. And your practicum is the stuff in the 99. It's the difficulties you face when trying to bring this plan to life. We're going to spend a little bit of time talking about Narwhal's idea, whether or not they can get it done at the bracket they want to be at, or if they'll have to compromise a little bit. And then we'll get into the stuff in their 99, what we can do to take action on the new tracks we have set for the deck. So what this deck wants to do is play flyers at instant speed on our opponent's turn. Denal lets us copy non-legendary creature spells with flying, but it makes them a 1/1. Now, we can only do this once each turn, which is unforgivable. So, of course, we must subvert that by playing things at instant speed. Now, for this idea, I'm going to tear you down a little bit, but feel free to disregard it because following this teardown, I will tell you how to do exactly what you want to do without taking any of my advice. But I would say, change this shit entirely, brother. The reason I would say change this shit entirely is we have to set up so much stuff for this to begin going right, and even when it begins going right, most of the stuff we can copy does nothing, right? We have some other flyers in different sections. Our flash section, so the stuff where it's like we get to play this on our opponent's turns, this is where we guaranteed get to have our copies. We have Brazen Borrower, who is dog shit, right? Getting a 1/1 copy of Brazen Borrower does fucking nothing. Getting a 1/1 copy of Fairy Mastermind, that could be something. There's a little bit of extra card draw if our opponents draw cards. I'm kind of rocking with him. Getting an extra copy of Final Word Phantom does nothing, right? He already had the flash on him. He's like, his ability doesn't double up. Malleable Imposter might do something, but if it enters as a 1/1, I'm no longer as convinced, but I don't know how the layers work. So if that one works where both copies enter as the power toughness of whatever you copy, okay. Getting to tap a little bit of stuff down, like, yeah, this sticks your finger in your mouth, but you don't have any hot sauce on there. You certainly don't have any anthrax. We're not killing them because we have a 1/1 that lets us tap 2 creatures because we've played a spirit, which we have a grand total of, we have 5 in the deck. Like, it's nothing! It's nothing! And so right now, the bridges we are trying to cross to make this deck function is, I need to get my commander out. It's going to take a few turns of setup because he's 4 mana. After I get my commander out, I have to get something with flash into my hand, and then I have to flash it out. So I'm waiting until like turn 4, turn 5 to do my thing. And if I do the thing of the deck, I get a 3/1 and a 1/1. And I get no other inherent benefits for sticking that additional 1/1. And this kind of just like keeps going like, oh my god, you get a 1/1 and you tap 2 things instead of 1, bro, calm down. And I promise the teardown is almost over. And I like what you're doing with Shadow Puppeteers as the finisher. Turning all these 1/1s into 4/4s is very clever. It's very cute. It's a nice little like Crater Hoof at home. But what I think you would benefit from a great deal is mentally committing yourself to non-flash value. Like, the focus of the deck should be, how good could it feel to copy something on my turn, and then perhaps if I'm having a very good game, I've drawn a lot of my deck, I saw my favorite cards, then I will get to flash stuff in. Like, I would rather see this deck be 25 flying creatures that it is impactful and fun to get a 1/1 copy of, and hopefully they give you a lot of card advantage. And then you're also playing things like, I have Leyline of Singularity. Anticipation. Wrong Leyline. But the important part is you are playing other things that then lets you upgrade your strategy. Like, it's how your strategy develops over time. Is, oh, now I can play these on y'all's turn as well, and now I can hold up my counter magic. Because the problem is in bracket 2, playing the like, ha ha ha, I'm holding up stinky counter magic, real buzzkill. I wish it wasn't. I love that style of play myself, but it is a like, gods, is it a horrific fucking buzzkill. Um, and so it's going to be really difficult to get people on board with that, even if you. And I realize like the point of Commander is not exclusively to have people on board with whatever you're doing, but it is a social game. And if every time we bring out our deck, everybody goes like, "Oh my god, he's going to stick his finger in our mouths again. He's not even going to have Sriracha on there." It's tough. So we also have to like get a better understanding of what value is. This one just hit me in the forehead like a fucking brick. Like I think we have to. What this deck is trying to do right now is it is trying to take cards that, if we think about this like grading on curve, right? You know how it's like, oh well, the highest score on the exam was an 80, so now that's a 100. It's wonderful for commander decks to grade on curve. To me, that's like the point of commanders. What can we do to take cards that are only okay and make them seem really special and wonderful in the context of this deck? You are taking cards that are like D minus or failing students and bringing them up to like C minus, which still ends up in a really rough place. Like Thieving Skydiver, I don't think shines that much. Getting a second copy of Shacklegeist really doesn't shine that much. Loyal Drake, that's a good draw engine. I like that. I like Kitesail Larcenist. I'm okay with Klinquant Sky Mage. It's all right, but I would be treating Klinquant Sky Mage should be the floor of cool stuff that is happening. Like this should be my least interesting thing that I get to clone. It should be a thing that grows a body for me. Versus we have a lot of guys who are just like, oh, you are clean useless. You are completely and totally, you have no use case for this deck, and the only reason I'm playing you is because you possess the keywords flash and flying at the same time. Versus like ramping into, I get 2 Wind Reader Sphinxes. I like that. I get 2 Defiler of Dreams. I'm drawing cards, boy. I get 2 Curiosity Crafters. Get ready to get curious, bitch. So what I would be looking for is what probably 4 to 6 mana flyers could we be playing the turn after we play Donald, and we would be like, that was sick. And then we're reaching for the far off dream of like, maybe I'll find a flash enabler and then I can be kind of a stinky blue player. But for the most part, we gotta get right with the idea of I'm curving out into ramp turn 2, Donald turn 3, cool flying guy on my turn 4, and the possibility of doing flash shenanigans. That's like turns 7, 8, 9, 10. That is, we're getting towards the end of the game. I have to hold up interaction, um, but I'm gonna hold it up for like some type of big blowout maneuver, or God forbid, you play a solid thing and then hold up Mystic Confluence. That's also great. Now, before I go into that, I promised you after the teardown, I would say, how do you achieve this without taking any of my fucking advice? The way you achieve this without taking any of my fucking advice and persisting in the flash game plan is you have to begin stacking +1/+1 benefits. So there's like terrible, terrible cards like Heraldic Banner. It doesn't get your commander faster, but it does make you mana, and it does double the power of everything you have on your board. So I would go to Scryfall Advanced, I would go to the OTAG Anthem, and we're going to go Commander Blue. It's going to be a bit difficult for us because we are not married to a type. We could Cage Sun. You could Eldrazi Monument because you probably have a lot of extra 1/1 tokens flitting about. You could, these are artifact creatures. You could Gauntlet of Power. You could Immortal Sun. And these are all like, you could oh, you have favorable winds. Right. I saw that in the, yeah. You have that already. like Grand Architect because it hits all blue creatures. Uh Hall of Triumph, baby. Like these are the and they're like really bad cards, yes. Oh, Sinette the Jelly Drover. Creatures with flying get +1/+1. Um, because those, even though they will not lock the game up for us, they very quickly take you from my board state means nothing more than a paper cut to okay, my board state is like a kind of bad bike fall. You fall at the wrong angle, I'm going to get you. Windstorm Drake is probably the most reasonable because this is a now a banner that we could stack up, and then we go from 1 power on everything to minimum 3 power on everything. That starts to be pretty reasonable. Um, God damn, and then we're out of shit. That's amazing. We're out of shit. Incredible. But I would be looking at what is Oracle flying mana value greater than or equal to 4, mana value less than or equal to 6, commander blue. Because what I want to have for you is what is a thing that is decent that becomes fucked up and awesome because we cast it twice effectively. I think Mole Drifter is that for sure. Right? We evoke it for 3 mana, we draw 4. Maybe you have this already. I am. You have I missed the line about saying maybe I'm smoking crack. I am smoking crack. So lean into the Mole Drifter direction. Lean into they don't all have to draw cards, but we have to lean into the direction of like, yeah, it's not Flash. Yeah, it's not the big eventual dream, but it's pretty hot. I would bring in High Fae Trickster. This is a great Flash enabler. You could make a copy of it so if people have single target removal and they're like, oh, we don't want them to have Flash, too bad I have 2 of them. Too bad I have 2 of them, bitch. Um, Archetype of Imagination is funny, but I don't think it is necessary or particularly useful. I don't think we're making enough artifacts for Shimmer Dragon. This guy. Probably, maybe you have him already. Hold on. Am I smoking crack again? No. This guy. Perfect example. Is a flyer, can be played on curve with what our commander is doing. If we get 2 of him, holy shit, that's so good. Even if the second one is a 1/1, we don't care because this is now draw 4, discard 2. Every turn we can draw 4, discard 2. Like that level of card velocity is going to get us to okay, now I have my flash engine, I'm hitting all my land drops, now I can do all the like crazy I'm killing you with my mind blue player stuff, um and I still have an opportunity to I can just launch myself into the mid game so much better. I don't love Thrix because I don't think we want to like we're not doing mono blue huge mana, and so I don't think the cost reduction is super useful. Fear of sleep paralysis is really fucking evil, so I don't know if I would recommend doing it. O'Hare, oh no, it doesn't break legend. It's non-legendary, so we have to. Oh, okay, hold on. Have I fucked that up at all? We're good on Flood Pits. We're good on High Pay Trickster. Okay, we're chill. Um, I mean, God, Meringue River region, even. This guy's really expensive, so I would be careful about just jamming him in anywhere. It's like, bounce 4 fucking things? Okay, it didn't happen on their turn. That's fucking awesome. Uh, this is kind of hot as interaction. That's a little bit. I don't know. I don't know if the meta at your local LGS or whatever is gonna work with this, but that could make you so many 1/1s with flying. Royal Elemental is a funny one for sure. Uh, Keg is another funny one. Don't love any of these guys. Hammerhead Tyrant is the devil. I personally love Dazzling Sphinx. Anytime I can play this card, I have a smile on my face. It is a great theft engine, can get you a lot of value, is not legendary. Um, Oniraphage is just another, like, super reasonable guy, but is not super fun. We're not doing a lot of targeted spell casting. Diviner of Mist is also pretty crazy value, especially when we're not very high on. That's the other thing that I think is kind of making this feel bad is we also don't get to bring a crazy amount of interaction in. Um and so it also feels like we're falling short of the plan of I'm the evil control player who's doing dastardly things with an army of wasps, because we have to commit so much of the deck to ramp to get this four mana commander out on a reasonable time frame, and then we've committed so many slots of the deck to, like, the worst flash creatures we've seen in our life, and then we've committed so many slots in the deck to really bad card draw. Oh lord. Um, on that note, I would cut Ponder, Curiosity. Maybe Skull Clamp. I'm a Skull Clamp hater. Um, I really like Siren Storm Tamer. That's really cute. I view your usage of the boots and of Mithril Coat as a politicking failure. Even when we reorient this deck around being a little bit more functional, if Donald is ever, like, the problem on the board, something deeply rotten is happening in Denmark. These should probably just be interaction spells instead that you can hold in your hand, that we can deploy later, that we can use to counterspell, like the mass board wipe or something. Um, this guy's just plain as day not threatening enough. Cast. Like, God, Sphinx of Enlightenment's crazy, bro. What do we mean? What do we mean? I draw 6? Secret or rendezvous? Like, so this is, as much as I could, I would be trying to replace the cards that are like, I'm going to nickel and dime you with engine value, with, like, hey, the previous turn I played Donald, this turn I played 2 of this guy and I drew 10 bajillion cards for it. Isn't that dope? And then you have hopefully drawn enough cards to set up the rest of your game plan. So again, if you don't want to do any of that and you want to stay committed to, I am going to play every spell with Flash, fuck you, Jonathan Maldhound, get some anthems in here. Just that change will help. Um, from a broader philosophical standpoint, I think there are too many moving parts to navigate. I'm going to ramp aggressively and play big meaty flyers and keep my handful of cards to play, or sorry, the opposite of big meaty flyers. I'm playing little meat gang flyers, and I'm going to keep my hand full enough of cards to do it, and I'm going to have interaction to cast. It seems guaranteed for one of those plates to fall every single game. And I think you would have a much more satisfying time leaning into the Mole Drifter angle of play, the Overlord of the Flood Pits, the Dazzling Sphinxes, Diviner of Mist. Um, and then I would just slot in maybe 2 to 4 flash enablers so that if you're drawing through a lot of your deck, you might find them. And then in the late game, you can transition your attitude towards, now I'm controlling a bit because now the game's getting really tense. So if anybody has any recommendations for fun flyers to copy, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I wish you the very best, and I hope this helps.